95 Honda Accord, and right now it is 110.3 degrees in the interior of my car, and that is relevant. I'll explain why in just a second. I'm going to start the car up with a good ECU plugged in. And you can see that this car does run. It runs well with a good ECU. Now I'm going to plug this one in, do the same thing, and you'll see I get a no start. Then I'll take that out, plug this one in, you'll see I get a no start, and then we'll go from there. I've got the one plugged in that on the tape says no start, fuel pump, no prime. Not going to start. All right, so the fuel pump is not priming. I cannot hear it in the background. Got a different one plugged in, no start when hot. No noise from the fuel pump, so this is not going to start. Oh. So it started up a little bit with that one, but then immediately cut off. This one didn't start up at all. What I'm going to do to at least temporarily fix both of them is put them both in the freezer for about 2 hours. Then I'm going to take them out one at a time, put them back in the car, start it up, and you'll see that the car does run. Then the computers heat up and shut off. So at 1:44 p.m., these two ECUs are going in the freezer. Now, what I mentioned earlier about heat being relevant, the two ECUs that failed, the ones that are in the freezer right now, they were in the car as it was heating up to 110 degrees in the interior. So even though they weren't in use, they were hot, and that's why they failed. Putting them in the freezer is going to cool off the hundreds of soldered joints, as well as the chips and capacitors and resistors. All of this stuff is going to get cooled off, and cooling it off somehow temporarily fixes the problem. I got tied up doing something else, so we're at 4:44, which is 3 hours. So let's plug this one in and see what it does. Got it plugged in, and in just a couple of minutes that it took me to do that, you can see the condensation that's formed on the cover. That's because that just came out of the freezer like you saw, and it's cooled off now. The car's in the shade, but it's still 102.4 degrees in the interior. Watch that check engine light. All right, fuel pump just primed. So it is running. That one is running, and that's the one that did not start at all. It was the other one that just started for a brief second. So now let's see how long this will run. It's 4:47 now. And there it went. 4:49. Let me cut it off, see if it'll restart. I do not hear the fuel pump. And we're back to no start. If you're chasing a no start and you take your ECU out, put it in the freezer, put it back in, and the car starts, that's your problem. Let's get the other one and plug it in. Got the no start when hot plugged in. Once again, plenty of condensation. And temperature's 101.3. So it's getting cooler in the car, but still hot. So here we go. I'll be listening for that fuel pump priming, and it did right away. So this is gonna start. So we're 2 for 2. Started at 4:55. And what's going on inside of that ECU right now is everything is heating up. All those solder joints, those capacitors, the resistors and circuit boards, all that stuff is heating up. And whatever it is inside that fails when it gets hot, it's getting hotter by the second. There we go. And at 5:01. So this one went right at 6 minutes. This one went a little over 2. All right, I have the two bad ones unplugged, and I have a good one plugged in. In fact, I just bought that last month at Cash and Carry. And hopefully my car is going to start up and run fine. Hopefully I haven't screwed anything up by plugging in and unplugging all these bad ECUs. Yeah, I'm good. It's running fine. I know some people are going to ask, because I have a few videos related to ECUs that I posted in past years, and people ask, did you disconnect the battery while you were connecting and disconnecting ECUs? Sometimes I do. Today I did not. I left the battery connected the whole time. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you what I did. If you want to be on the safe side, then while you're taking the ECU in and out, disconnect your negative battery cable. When you're ready to try to start the car or whatever it is you're doing, then reconnect the negative battery cable. So you do it how you want, and don't get mad at me if something bad happens. So if you have a no start, or if you have an intermittent stalling problem, suspect your car's computer, find it, put it in the freezer for a couple of hours, leave everything else the same, come back, plug it in, see if it starts up. If it starts up and runs at least for a few minutes, that's telling you that your computer's the issue. And down on the floorboard, at least in my car, there is also a TCU, transmission control unit. So I could troubleshoot this one in the same way if I thought I was having a heat-related issue with this. This is a main relay. It's located underneath the steering wheel in my car, and this helps to control power to the fuel injectors from what I understand. But this could fail also when it gets heated up, and I could troubleshoot it the same way, put it in the freezer. All right, I guess that's it. You'll see some links popping up here in the corners, videos that I've done in the past. One in particular regarding this ECU when I found trouble code 14. Also one about the main relay that I just showed you. I made a video about that. And if you have an older car, not necessarily a Honda, but any older car, and you're having troubles that you just can't figure out, take a look at your car's computer, because they do fail with age. Hope this helps you out. Thanks for watching.